Today I'm sharing my 2024 reading journal. Welcome back to Candlewick Library. I'm Cheryl, and today I'm really excited to show you guys my reading journal. The last few years, I've been keeping track of my reading in a little notebook and then in my normal planner. In my normal planner at the back, I had a spot where I would keep track of my Bible reading, I would keep track of my reading goals for the year, and all of the year-long reading challenges that I was taking part in. And then in the monthly sections, I would keep track of any readathons for that month and a list of the books I read that month. And then in this little reading journal, I would just keep track of the books I read and their star rating and just write a little review. I would write quotes from the books that I wanted to keep, things like that. And then at the back of this, I had a bookshelf that I drew in that had all of my unread books on it, and I would color them in as I read them. I very quickly run out of room in my planner for all of these different challenges and readathons, and it's been taking up pages that I normally would use for notes and other family things. And now that I'm doing YouTube, I'm also using pages in my planner for that. A couple of months ago, I decided I really wanted to have all of my reading things in one book, and that I wanted to do a really cute reading journal that could have all of my yearly stuff at the beginning, my unread shelf at the back. In the middle, I could have the things that I've had in this little reading journal for so long. I started gathering some stamps that I thought would be fun for it. And then I picked up this book from Amazon. It was pretty cheap and the paper is kind of thin. You can kind of tell, but it's thick enough that the stamps and the markers I've been using in them don't really bleed through. They do shadow a bit, and at first I was worried that that might bother me, but I've decided it doesn't. Put it off for a while, really worried that I was going to mess it up, but a couple of days ago I finally started filling it out and doing the things I wanted to do in it, and I really like how it's turned out so far. So today I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you the inside pages. So starting out, I made this title page, just my 2024 reading journal. I just used some stickers I thought were cute, just one more chapter. It's very basic, just throw on some stickers. One of the stickers I got for Christmas from Etsy came wrapped in this little map. So I just cut it out and glued it on here and added little word names. I'll go in closer on this. Trilogy Row, Reread River, Series Kingdom, things like that. I thought that would be kind of fun, and then added this sticker that's also from a fine quotation. I think I'm quite ready for another adventure. I added some washi tape, and then this is where I'm keeping track of all of the challenges and all the pages. So there are a few pages of table of contents. So of course at the very end, I put the things that are at the back of the book. The first challenge I have in here is the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge from Chantel Reads All Day. If you've seen that challenge, you know that it's a Lucy Maud Montgomery versus Sir Arthur Conan Doyle this year. And she has prompts for each author. And each month you start with January with either a book with a cat on the cover or a book with a dog on the cover. And then you're supposed to just go through the author that you pick. And occasionally she has a way to change authors. I kind of want to do both author sides. So I may or may not do that. I'm not sure. I'm going to be starting with The Hounds of the Baskerville dog on the cover, but I'm hoping I can do both. One of my biggest goals this year is to read all of the Sherlock Holmes short stories. I really enjoyed the Sherlock Holmes stories I read last year, and so I found a printout online that I hope is accurate that had split up the short stories into different books, and so I wrote that in as I found it. I used stickers again from one fine quotation and then some random ones I got from Etsy. So I titled it A Study in Sherlock just because I'm going to be trying to read every short story this year. Katie at Paperbacks and Ponytails is doing the Read Around the World-a-thon this year again, and she had a really cute printout, but I couldn't, of course, fit that into my journal. So I cut around all of her pieces and then just glued them on. On her original work, it started at the bottom and goes up, but this one I decided to do down. So all of these drawings are from her. And you can go to her channel and find out more about this year-long readathon and get the link to the printout as well. Each prompt has something to do with travel. I wasn't going to do the Buzzwordathon this year, but then I decided to kind of last minute to just put it in here. So I may or may not do all of them, but I wanted to have it in here just in case I do decide to do it. And I'm already kind of cheating with January because the words are there, and there. And I figured since the last one is they are, that I could use a book that had they on the cover because I didn't have any books in my entire unread shelf that had one of those 3 words on the cover. When I do these challenges, I like to, as much as possible, pick books that I already have on my shelf that I own to try to get that number down. Last year, I did the G3 Ministries challenge for the first time, and I really wanted to do that again this year, so I set up a page for that. Theirs aren't organized by month, but there are 12. And last year, I just kind of did them throughout the whole year. Whenever I did one, I would mark it off. And so that's the plan again this year, is to just mark them off as I go along. I also joined in with the Bookish Princesses book club this year, so I made a page spread for that. She announced all the different books for the year. I already know that there's a few of them that I won't be reading or taking part in. I won't be doing February with Belinda because I don't own it, and I don't think I'll be buying it before then. And then there's a few later in the year that I may or may not reread or may not read for the first time. So I just wanted to have it all in here and have the option of knowing what books she was picking. Kind of wanted to do this, and I realized she had picked Scarlet Pimpernel for January, which is the book I had already picked for my personal book club for January as well. And so I felt like that would be a really fun thing to do. And then I will do as many of these as I can. On Instagram, I saw that the Well Read Collective was also having a year-long challenge this year. This is the company I got my Christmas shirt from. And I thought that this looked really fun. So I printed out her page with all of these little books and stars on it, and then I just glued them in here and then highlighted around them. If you finish this, at the end of the year, you're entered into a drawing. You get a little diploma looking thing and a sticker, and it was just really cute. One of my big plans for this year is to reread Harry Potter. So I split up Harry Potter into chapters to mark that off as I go along. And then I will be having a video coming about Doug's Half Dozen. My husband had me pick 6 books this year to assign to him to read. So I made a spread for that. Like I said, I will be having a video coming out where I'm talking about why and what books and why I picked the books I did. Next, I have a Goodreads page. I am setting my goal at 100 this year. I left a square to put their sticker of whatever color they pick this year there, but they haven't done that yet, so I will add that in later. And then I've been taking part in a Book Like You's Revive Christian Book Club. I probably won't be reading Dust in January, but I still wrote it in just in case I change my mind, and then I added in the other months, and as she announces them, I'll write them in. And I also will have a video coming of what the Inklings Literary Society is with my mom and I. And so I made a spread for that of the books that we've picked for this year. And then I have made a video about the British literature course that I've been doing this year. And these are all of the books that I still have to read for it. Some of these are optional. A lot of these are rereads, and so I may not do all of them, but I wanted to have a place where all of them were listed I can mark off. And then this is my Bible reading. I am currently rereading the Bible using a John MacArthur commentary. And I decided that this time through, I wanted to not just start from the beginning and go to the end, but I wanted to be reading from the Old Testament and the New Testament at the same time. And so I'm going back and forth and reading a chapter or 2 every day from each. And so I have finished 4 books from each so far. I'm currently in Acts and Deuteronomy. And so I'm just going to be coloring these in as I finish the books this year. And then I made a page for my goals and a reference chart for my stars that I give. And I will also have a video coming about my goals where I'll go through these in detail. Then I started my January pages. So I'm not super excited about this page. I don't know if it's going to stay exactly this way for every month or if I'll change it up. I just had a few things that I thought would be fun to record every month. And so I just kind of put that all together. But I will be probably tweaking this every month. See how I feel about this one. This may be what stays, and I might recreate this for every month, but it might change up. And then I made a page for the Read in the New Year readathon that Oceana Gotta Read 'Em All and Lovely Day with Holly are doing. So every month that has readathons that I'm taking part in, I will have them in here during that month's pages. This next page was a mistake. I am planning on having a little picture of the book covers with my reviews. And for some reason, when I went to stamp it just to try it out, it's kind of a Polaroid picture stamp. And when I went to do it, I was thinking that I was going to put all of the books I read in the month on the same page. And I realized about here that I had gone a little crooked and that I couldn't fit another row. And then I remembered that isn't the way I wanted to do it. kind of too late. So in January, I will do it this way, and then I will write the reviews in the pages afterward. And then in the next months after that, it will be done the way I meant to do it in the first place. So then at the back of the book, I have a book bracket for the book of the year. So every month I will add in my favorite book of the month and then do it like that to kind of find out what I really do think my favorite book of the year is at the end of the year. And then I have my unread shelf. So these are all the books I own that I haven't read. And then I left space for books that I might buy. And then at the back, where I had kind of a test page with this stamp, I am keeping track of the number. So that's it. That's what my reading journal looks like this year. It was so much fun to make, and I really love the way it's turned out. So hopefully it'll be something that as the year goes along, I won't get sick of doing the monthly layouts, and I'll continue to have fun with it. As you saw, I had a lot of year-long challenges in this. I might not finish all of them, but one thing I do with my yearly challenges is I sometimes count a book for more than one challenge. So when I do a monthly readathon, I usually try to do a different book for every prompt. But with yearly ones, when I'm doing multiple challenges, multiple book clubs, if I had one book that fit all of them, I would count it. Hopefully I'll be able to get to all of them and complete all of them. So let me know, are you doing any really cool year-long challenges? Do you have a reading journal? If you have made one for this year, let me know, and what your favorite pages have been in the past and what pages you are looking forward to doing in the new year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will probably update midway through the year and at the end of the year of how this worked and if I've been able to keep up on it and if the layouts worked well.